Hey guys, it's Ted with HDpiano. Here's the introduction to We Are the World. 3, 4. And there's the top of the verse. So this is a real classic that I'm teaching today by Michael Jackson. And this is the song where he brought in a lot of other guest singers, all of them really celebrities in American music, and they made this song for charity. So it's a beautiful sentiment behind the song. And I love this opening introduction that I'm going to teach in this lesson section. It is so 80s to me. And it's fun to note that some of these things we're playing on piano, like this opening line, that was played by horns on the recording. For some reason, it reminds me of the NBC Olympics theme. And then we have some really classic 80s keys parts that we're going to show in the rest of the introduction. So let's get into it. We're starting with this opening chord. And this E sus2 chord is all E's and B's. E, B, E, B, E, B. Look at that. Except for this F sharp. And that's the sus2 part. That's the 2 of the chord. So roll that opening chord. And then we have this beautiful horn line. And you'll play that while your left hand is still holding out that power chord. So after that melody, we have this part, and this is a moment where there are different voices in your right hand that are moving at different times. So this is going to be the trickiest part, I think, of this section. And I'm going to go really slowly so you can check out what's happening. So we're coming from here. And then I go together, top note, bottom note, top note. So after they play together, they're kind of alternating. And then we jump up to this chord. And I would suggest that you pay attention in that segment I just showed you, not only to the notes, but also to which fingers I'm using. The finger numbers matter so that you can connect that top melody. All right, so then we land on this chord. This is a fun chord to play. It's like an A over E chord, but we're leaving out the A. So just E and C sharp in this chord. And we have this little grace note here. And this is a grace note where you're going to land on the chord, so the grace note actually comes just before the chord. Actually, let me correct myself. It doesn't come just before the chord. It comes with the chord, right? And then as soon as the chord lands, it moves on to C sharp. It's funny, with those grace notes, after you've played something like that for a while, you stop thinking about what's exactly happening. So I hope that for you, that this will become second nature for you to play a grace note like that. So after that, we go on. That's our melodic fill. And then we land on this chord. Then we have another little melodic fill. So backing up, coming from this grace note moment, it sounds like this. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. See if you can get that under your fingers. And then we just have 2 more measures, so it's 4 and 1. So this chord, very similar in shape to this chord. We're moving almost everything down by 1 note in the E major scale. The only exception, the only thing that we're moving more than 1 note down in the scale is this note. Rather than going right here, we're going there. So we're actually skipping a note in the E major scale. An E major looks like that. It's going to be a useful resource for you for this whole song if you familiarize yourself with that major scale. All right, so we landed on this F minor 7 chord. A little more melody in the right hand. So even slower, that's like this. And you notice all of that happened while I still held out these lower notes. That's a bit of a challenge. You can just practice it like that for independence. And then I lift up my whole right hand to play this pickup. And I resolve this sus chord to here for a B dominant 7. And that's the end of our introduction. We land on E major at the top of the verse. So once more, here's our introduction for We Are the World. You can really be dramatic with that horn line. There's our coordination part and our grace note. And verse. Okay, great job on part 1. If you're on HDpiano.com already, you can click on the next video. If you're not, head on over so you can keep going with this song. If there's another song you want to learn, send us your ideas at requests.hdpiano.com. You can follow us on social media for a heads up about new lessons. And if you're on YouTube, drop us a comment because we love hearing from you. I'm Ted with HDpiano.com. Until next time.